words. This story, of course, involves my old friend Jim Garish, as many of my stories do. You all know him. And tonight, 2 of his granddaughters are here, which I didn't know was going to happen. This is just very gratuitous. Jim's in the story, and probably you shouldn't hear this. You should probably leave now. But I do want to share this with you. The story takes place in 1972, May of '72, and we, a bunch of us, are on our trip down the Grand Canyon, and we've been on the river almost a month, and we have at least another month to go. It's a long trip down the Grand Canyon. And you couldn't do that now, but it was semi-legal then. And this trip was put together by a guy named Fred Eisman, a multimillionaire, and he had all sorts of bucks. And he came out to Oregon, had 3 boats built to his specifications, and then he invited a bunch of people to row them down the Grand Canyon. And I was one of those people because Fred and my dad met post-war down in the canyon running rivers, and we're friends, and my dad didn't want to run, so I got to go. So this story, the timing is kind of important because we've been on the river about a month, and that's germane. We got to Phantom Ranch, and we're going to spend a few days at Phantom Ranch while the Mules bring down more supplies for the next month that we're going to be spending on the river. We had the head of the park, the brand new head of the park with us on our trip, and he's never seen the Grand Canyon. It's kind of fun. We're doing a bunch of things. But the key to this story is that we've been on the river for almost a month, but we have been out of beer for about 2 weeks. And that's kind of crucial because the first mules that come down, every day mules come down with a bunch of tourists on them. And they come down, arrive maybe 3, 4 in the afternoon, and the tourists spend the night at Phantom Ranch, and then the next morning they get up and have a big breakfast and get on their mules and go back out. And Fred, the man who put this trip together, had them throw on a bunch of extra mules every day while we're at Phantom Ranch and bring down all the important stuff that we're going to need. But the most important stuff arrived first, which was the beer. And Jim and John Eisenbeis and I scarfed the first case that got off the mules, and we proceeded to start drinking this beer. And it gets dark real fast down there, and everyone goes to bed down in, the sun goes down, everyone goes to bed. But we were kind of excited to be drinking beer again, and we were hanging out down by the river under a tree, and it just wasn't good enough. We were drinking the beer, but wasn't anything to do. Everyone's gone to bed, and so we decided that it would be really good to go up the Bright Angel Trail to the south and go drinking at the 2CN Bar and Grill, which takes about 3 hours if you walk up at night. I know that because we did it the next day. But that night we decided, that takes an awful lot of time, and we're going to be really tired when we get up there and stuff. So we wandered over and looked into the corral, and there is full of all these mules, and they're all sleeping. And literally, mules sleep on their side. They get down, they're out cold. They've had a busy day. They've been hauling our beer down. They've been hauling tourists. And the mule skinners are all staying over at the lodge, which is quite a ways away. And so we go in, and there's a tack house there, and we get some tack. And I should mention that I am the most important person on that whole trip because I have the sleeping bag which has the case of beer in it. So I'm kind of the hod carrier for the whole group. And I don't play with horses or mules or anything that big. I just don't like it. So John and Jim go get halters. and put them on sleeping mules. This is weird, you know. The mules, they don't wake up, stick them this thing in their mouth. They got the reins and everything, and so Jim kind of coaxes a mule up. He puts us in, and the mule kind of just gets up and thinks it's a little strange because it's still dark out and he's up. But he gets up kind of calmly, and John Eisenbeis, you had to know him, but he walks over to a mule, puts the thing on there, steps over the top of the mule and goes, whap! And this mule goes straight up with John on him, who stays on him. And now we've got two kind of semi-mobile mules. I'm hoping that the statute of limitations is run on this. But, so we've got these mules, and I said, I don't want to try and ride a mule. And Jim said, well, get on mine. So I get on the back of his, and I've got the most important thing that we got this whole case of beer in there. And as we've been drinking, we are very conscientiously putting the empties back in there. So we got this big, weird sounding sleeping bag going up the trail. And we get the horses through the gate at the compound, and then we lead them along the trail. And then we get up on the bridge that goes across the river. It's a very narrow little bridge, but they get up and they're kind of staggering along with it, wondering what. Good moon that night though, so they can see where they're going, we can see where they're going, and we go all the way across the river on this bridge. And we get to the other side, and at the other side, there's literally a hole in a rock face, and it goes in and then makes a right-hand turn. It's probably only 75, 80 feet long. But the right turn means there's nothing, you can't see anything, and the mules get there and go, we aren't going. And I was willing to accept defeat then, but the others weren't. So John, you had to know John, right? He hands me a book of matches, and he says, Lee, they're just afraid of the dark. So what you do is go in there, strike all the matches and hold it up, and it'll light the tunnel and they'll come through. Like an idiot who had been drinking, I went into the tunnel. I got right about to the curve so I could actually see light out both ends. They couldn't, but I could. Struck the match, the lights flare up, and I hear John go, yeah! And you got to remember, this tunnel is about 1.1 mule wide, and I'm standing here, and they're coming back. So I am bailing out the other end of the tunnel. I drop the matches, I'm gone, and the mules come on through. Which it was genius on John's part, it was idiocy on my part, but we get them. They stop because they have to. The trail's not very wide, and we get on them again. And boy, this is going to be fun. We'll be up at the 2CN drinking in an hour. You know, the mules will do all the work, and most of you probably don't know what those trails are like, but it's about this wide, and it's a 1,000-foot drop all the way up. So it isn't that fast, but if you're drunk, it seems like nothing at all. So we get back on and we start up the trail. Now at this point, the mules don't just suspect something wrong; they're sure. and they are becoming increasingly irritated, and they show that. And they're big. I mean, these are big mules and very set in their ways. And we go about 50 feet to the first switchback, and they just both bucked us off at the same time. Boom! So we hit the ground. The beer makes kind of a funny noise, but I didn't drop it. We chased the mules or tried to go up and grab their reins again, and they would shuffle forward 70 feet, and then we shuffle forward 70 feet. So we went through a few switchbacks, and they are having nothing to do with us. So we turned around and went back down, good boys that we are, and went down and finished the beer and went to bed. Got up the next morning, and we were technically guests of Phantom Ranch, so that meant we got to eat in their dining room and everything with everybody, and the dining room is full of tourists that have come down on mules, and our boat trip, all 9 of us are eating there, and the mule skinners. And this mule skinner get tough, and he is talking very loudly. 3 drunk guys are kind of keeping their heads down during this thing, but he's saying that he can't understand how the mules got out. And it's causing all sorts of problems for him because they went on up and they went to their top of the hill and showed up at the gate, and so now they have to bring 2 mules down because they're short 2, and the tourists, want to go back up. And he also sat and recited all the instances he knew of when mules, when wakened at night, had killed somebody. And he had our attention. We're kind of like this, kind of listening to all this stuff. So that was my story. Now, had anyone heard that before? Good. Well, don't repeat it to cops or anything. I don't know. It's technically, we did not steal mules. We borrowed them. That was our gig. Thank you.